Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. This is a challenging time in the life of our country. Our economy is struggling. Millions are out of work. And now, with a more than $14 trillion national debt, America's on the verge of having its debts exceed our statutory borrowing limit. Now, I recognize if you owe debts, pay debts. Congress has an obligation to defend the full faith and credit of the United States. But this Congress also has an obligation to keep faith with this and future generations of Americans by restoring fiscal responsibility and discipline to our national treasury. The Bipartisan Budget Control Act that we will consider today will make it possible for the nation's bills to be paid with no new taxes, dollar-for-dollar cuts in spending for every increase in the debt ceiling, and it will give the American people a fighting chance to consider a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. Now, let me be clear. The Budget Control Act is not so much a good deal as it is a good start. I really believe this bipartisan compromise is a modest but meaningful step in the direction of fiscal discipline and reform, and I welcome it. Now, while this bill doesn't go nearly far enough, it does move us in the right direction. You know, leadership means knowing when to say yes and knowing when to say no. I believe the time has come to get something done so this Congress can move our national government back in the direction of fiscal responsibility and reform and begin to advance policies that will put Americans back to work. Last thought. There's a lot of credit taking on a day like today, a lot of bipartisanship, back patting, as we say. But let me say from my heart, this day where we see the ship of state turning ever so slightly toward that lodestar of fiscal responsibility, this day does not belong so much to any one political leader, to any one political party, or to any one branch of government. This day belongs to the American people.
Gentleman's time has expired.
Who have stood, who have clamored, who have come to town halls, who have demanded this government live within their means and said enough is enough. This is your day.
Gentleman from Massachusetts.
I yield the gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Scott, 1 minute.
Gentleman from Georgia is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen of the House of Representatives, this, of course, is a very